Hi, today we're going to talk about the absolute value of a number. The absolute value of a number is its distance from zero. The symbol for absolute value looks like this. It's two vertical bars. So if you saw something like this, you would read that the absolute value of x. Or if you saw this, you would read that the absolute value of -3. So what is the absolute value of -2? Well, -2 is here on the number line. It's 2 units from 0, so the absolute value of -2 is 2. What is the absolute value of a +2? 2 is here. It is also 2 units from 0, so the absolute value of a +2 is also 2. Can you list the 7 expressions below from greatest to least? Well, the absolute value of a -6 is a +6. The absolute value of 5 is 5. The absolute value of -8 is 8. The absolute value of 10 is 10. The absolute value of 0 is 0. The absolute value of 6 is 6. And 4 is just 4. So now arranging these from greatest to least, this is the greatest. So we put that first. This comes next. Absolute value of -6 and the absolute value of +6 are tied. They both have a value of a +6. Then comes the absolute value of 5, then the number 4, and then the absolute value of 0. Now let's look at some simple equations. If the absolute value of x is 6, then what is x? Well, this equation has two solutions. 6 and -6, because both of them have an absolute value of 6. How about if the absolute value of x plus 1 is 4? Then what is x? Once again, we're seeing that there are two solutions. If you plug 3 into the equation for x, 3 plus 1 is 4. The absolute value of 4 is 4. Or if you put -5 in for x, -5 plus 1 is a -4, and the absolute value of a -4 is 4. So if this little expression in here equals a +4 or -4, you have found your two solutions, and the two values of x that create that situation are 3 and -5. So usually, most absolute value equations have two solutions. Let's look at 6. Observe that this is not an equation. There's no equal sign. It's just an expression. And if you see a little expression inside absolute value bars, you try to simplify the math inside. 5 minus 9 is a -4. Take the absolute value of -4, and if you simplify this, you get 4. Let's work on some tables. If y equals the absolute value of x minus 4 plus 2, then complete the table. Well, if x is 3, you would plug that in here. 3 minus 4 is a -1. The absolute value of a -1 is 1, and 1 plus 2 is 3. Then take 4 and plug it in for x. 4 minus 4 is 0. The absolute value of 0 is 0, and 0 plus 2 is 2. And lastly, put 5 in. 5 minus 4 is 1. Absolute value of 1 is 1, and 1 plus 2 is 3. Our answer is check. So the absolute value of a number is always positive, and absolute value means distance from 0.